Hello, everybody. Hope people pop in. I haven't been live in a while. I think since Friday, I think. Let everybody grab some coffee and a bite to eat. Oh, turn down my volume. I'm having some of the soup. I made the crock pot soup. Hmm? Yeah, I'm gonna have some. I just have some soup from the crock pot. Well, the instant pot that I used the slow cooker on. Yeah, well, there's the soup. I'm having some of it. Dawn from Sensible Living Mummy Mom asked me to do a collab with her for a crock pot meal, and it was due for today. So I made this last night as I'm having some leftover buns, dinner rolls from Thanksgiving. Hey, Amanda! It's also really good in chicken soup, hot sauce, because it gets a little zing. Also, if you put like lemon juice, it's also good in hot sauce in chicken noodle soup. It gives it a little zing. How's it going? I think Mother Nature has gone crazy again. It is super hot again. It was hot yesterday. It was 29 degrees. That's why I'm in the sundress again. Because and my inside my house is at 25. I had to turn on the air conditioning. So, because nobody slept last night. Abby didn't sleep at all. She said, "You slept? Okay." Rowan slept because well, she's the one that's always cold. So, um, she but Abby didn't sleep at all last night. Hubby didn't sleep much. I didn't sleep much. We went to bed late at like 11:20, and then it by 12:30 I was too hot. I took a shower. Cool rain here. Our basement at our other house flooded. Oh dear, are you getting the stuff from the hurricane? You have two houses? Um, there's supposed to be a chance of rain, I think today or tomorrow, but not much. It was like only like 15% or something. Now, question for you: was your houses like before you got married, like your house and his house, or did you buy a second house after you got married? I'm like, we haven't even paid off one house. How can you have two houses? You're younger than me. Oh, have you guys? Are you near where the Homesteaders of America's conference is? A bunch of people I follow are going to that, and I don't know. It's in the States somewhere. I'm like, yeah, I would never ever be able to go, but it would be totally cool to get together with a bunch of other YouTubers and see them. I bought my parents' house from my siblings. Lived for a while with my brother. Then the hubby moved in, and we bought the house from siblings for cheap. Moved to the house we live in now. Oh, okay. Because I guess when your parents died, um, you had to, you got like a portion of the house. So you bought out your siblings from the house. And how much do you charge for rent for your house? Like, how much does rent cost in your area? In our area, it was just saying that a two bedroom apartment, the average rate for that is about $1,200, $1,200 to $1,500, like in a decent area. First 2 years we did 700 and just bumped it to 800. And is that good for a house in your area? See, in our area, so the townhouses here, like a townhouse exactly like what I'm living in right now, minimum people would be paying $1,500 to rent it, if not 2,000. It's a family friend, so I'm sure we could get a lot more, but he doesn't bother us. Yes, it's that fine line of making money and helping a friend, and having like peace of mind that you know that your house isn't going to get wrecked, or making more money, but having to get bugged by a new stranger. Basically, if you can rent a house and have it basically pay the mortgage and your taxes and stuff like that, then you're in the clear. It's like somebody else is paying the mortgage and the taxes. So in once the mortgage is done in 20 years, it's free and clear, and you haven't really put effort into it. You know what I mean? Why will you probably sell it in the next year or two? Having another house as a rental income, it's almost like, especially if you're in a good area where people rent it, it's always good to have that as kind of like almost a guarantee income. Like in our area, if we ever had a second property, it would get rented like that. Now, if we were pricing it too high, it might take longer. Thank you. Rowan made me some noodles and sauce. She wanted something else besides what she had for lunch. She was peckish. We are already in the hole about $1,000 just after. Oh, for the repairs to the house. But what about insurance? House insurance. Doesn't that pay for flooding and stuff like that? And is this other house, close to where you live? And I guess you didn't have a separate flood policy. Not too far. Okay, 25 minutes. I honestly don't know our house insurance. I'm pretty sure it has um, flood policy on it. Like, so some areas near where we live, they're in a flood zone, and they can't get flood insurance on their houses. because the stupid people built houses where it used to be a swamp. But I think ours has some flood insurance. I don't know how much. Super expensive and only required if you. Okay, but here, so if we had a flood, then it would be covered. I think. Well, there's always a deductible. Oh, really? See, I don't know anything about insurance. I just know. Well, I just know that we tend to be as a family. We tend to pay. We buy the extra insurance, like when we buy an appliance, the extended warranties and stuff like that. Especially when we get them from Corbe, because if you don't have to use the warranty, the extended warranty, you'll get a credit of half the amount that you paid for the extended warranty to use on another appliance next time you're in, or within like a few years from that. I do just because I work. Yes. Well, this is the thing. If if that's part of your field, you would know a lot. So that's always nice. So we've never actually, we always get the extended warranties, but we've never actually had to use them because we know, because like we kind of swear that we should change our name to Murphy, because if the one time we don't get the extended warranty, that's the one we're gonna have problems with. Like when we go on vacation, we always get travel insurance. Um, it's worth that peace of mind. And plus, the first time we were on a major vacation, well, no, sorry, second time. The first time we went to Disney, that was a major vacation, like years ago, so 2011. The next time we went on major vacation was when we were on a cruise. We got stuck at Newark because there was a tornado that touched down near the airport in Newark, um, when we were leaving from Miami. So the Miami plane to Newark didn't take off for like 6 hours later. So that meant even though we had like 4 or 5 hours between the New landing in Newark and then catching the Ottawa bound flight, that means the Ottawa bound flight left without us, as well as a whole bunch of other connecting flights. So we were stuck in Newark, excuse me, for 3 days because, and that was travel insurance covered that, because they didn't have a space for 4 people to go on. So they said we could send one person tomorrow at 2, one person um, the next day at 4, and then 2 people. I'm like, okay, so which one of our children are you leaving, going to send by themselves, right? Which one of these blind people are you sending by themselves? We're like, no, no, when can you fit us all on the same plane? And hopefully having my blind child and an adult next to her. It doesn't have to be all 4 together. But my youngest at the time, I think, well, it was 2012. So like 6 years ago. So she was like 9. It was like we had a 9 and 11-year-old. I'm like, which one? Which one are you sending home alone? And at which time? Like, this doesn't work. Do you not like see our family here? It was dealing with insurance, like the travel insurance was not a problem. Dealing with the airport people, it was more of an issue. But yes, well, and then come back, like go through customs, right? Because like it's now another country, right? So go through customs and then somehow figure their way home by themselves to an empty house. I think we're missing a few steps. So so we were stuck in Newark for 3 days. So our for the travel insurance, they just said, like pay the bills. So one day of the hotel, we were at Marriott by the airport there, was covered by the um, airport, like for the from covered by the airline or whatever. They paid the first day we didn't get charged, and then the next two we got charged, and then we just collected receipts. So when we had to go to the gas station to get snacks and stuff, and we ate out our meals, all of our meals. Um, we if we had if like at first we weren't going to get our luggage because all the airport the um, stuff that was going to go on the plane didn't go on the plane because we weren't there yet type thing. um so they had locked it up, and then and because we didn't land until like something like 2 o'clock in the morning, and all the luggage guys are gone. Um so with that, we did eventually get them in. We had to ask one of the police officers, because they have actual police, not just security, but they had actually police, to contact the airport security to get to our luggage, because we needed it, because it had meds and stuff in it, because we had planned to get our luggage. We only had the meds for that day on us, not for that night, because we were going to be going home where there was more meds at home. But yeah, it was interesting. But if we didn't couldn't get our luggage, it would have covered us to buy um, clothing and stuff like that. But the problem is, if you've ever been to Newark, there's nothing around there. Like we were just like we didn't even try and venture out much. We ventured out to find restaurants, and we found like a corner store, gas station. We did find a Portuguese restaurant there that was actually really good. But we just basically spent the whole time in the hotel pool and then watched movies because the kids were tired. Like we were just had vacation, and so we just kind of chilled. But the kids were because this is also we did it like they missed the first bit of school. They were out of school. We were supposed to come back like the day before school started, but they missed like the first 4 days of school. 5K by country only. Well, so before 2011, we hadn't done any vacations. We did metropolitan vacations. Usually, like we did a lot of vacations with Toronto, but that's also we combined it with hospital visits to the sick kids hospital in Toronto, and we did vacations in Montreal, and we combined it sometimes with visits to the children's hospital there, or with my husband's side of the family. We did that, and then we did once to Niagara Falls on the Canadian side, and then once to PEI. Um, that one we took the train overnight. We didn't get a sleeper car. We stayed in the sit up train. It took 24 hours to get to Nova Scotia from here by train. We had to go to Montreal, then change trains, and then we took. We were going to take a bus, like a Voyageur bus, a Greyhound or whatever. But then while we were there, the taxis that were there said, "Oh, we could do it for cheaper." So instead of I cashed in our Voyageur bus tickets, and then we took a cab from Moncton, New Brunswick, over to PEI, way over the bridge, and we stayed there for 2 weeks, and then we flew back home from Charlottetown. So we stayed in Cavendish for a week and a half, and then we took a taxi from Cavendish to Charlottetown, the main capital there, where the airport is, and we stayed there for 3 days in a Best Western that had a pool, and then we took a flight from Charlottetown home, because I'm like, yeah, we wouldn't be able to do the train back. Everybody gets anxiety. We go lots of places in the U.S. Just, but see, that's what what's nice. What I find nice traveling to other countries, especially ones where you don't speak the language. I mean, yes, okay, it's Spanish, so I mean, like, I could possibly learn some Spanish. So, is just seeing how other people live. So every time we go on vacation somewhere, even when we go into the states and stuff like that, traveling through the state, like because we've gone to the states, we went to Disney, but just like the way that travel, you're seeing just how people live. Got right into the store. And like in the different countries, you see how they live, and you see like how small their places are, or you see what type of foods they eat or clothes that they wear, and you can see how they might look poorer than yourself, but they seem happy. You know, love it. Don't get me wrong, it just freaks me out. Once again, my thing that freaks me out is going through security, because I hate going through security. I hate at the airport. It drives me crazy. It freaks me out. Even though I know I don't have a record, or I don't have anything on me that would go set things off, or I'm just always just worried about that, because you always hear and see horror stories of things happening, especially in other countries. So, but but I love going to different countries of just trying their different foods. Like I would love to like find something, like hire someone local. You can pay them or to just take you around to their favorite restaurant, or their favorite um, place to shop and stuff. Because I mean that's one of the thing is, like, I don't like I like being in the tourist spots, because it's definitely safer in on the resort. But just finding somebody that's trustworthy, that would be able to immerse you in the culture. So what country did you go to, Amanda? You should come to Canada sometime. Canada's a beautiful country. I'd like to take more trips throughout Canada. I just wish our domestic airplane fares were as good as um, American domestic air flights, because it's really pathetic that it costs me more to travel by plane to, say, Calgary from here than it is to go to Europe. Like, it's actually cheaper to go to Europe, and that's a much longer flight. I mean, that's why when we go on vacation, we tend to go down south, um, because if we're going to spend that money on airfare, we want to go someplace where it's hot, because and get rid of But the problem is we tend to go on vacation in the summer where it's also still hot here. So, but that's because the kids are in school, and we don't want that to be messed up. So, what store are you going into, Amanda? Who else is all here? Tom Tom, are you still here? I don't know. think it's just you and me. Oh, let's try. Is this cooled down enough? Mm. It's just noodles and sauce. Coffee. So what are you doing for supper tonight? Oh, that's not. Yeah, do is get that. I did that video on Monday. I gotta get that uploaded. I'll probably have it uploaded for tomorrow. I did it Monday. I just haven't edited it. I needed the crockpot video done for today, so I got that done. I was having technical difficulty last night, so I just got that done at like 1. I'm eating the soup right now. That's a late lunch. You got caught at work. Oh yeah, that's what I was. Welcome back, Tom Tom. You were quiet there for a bit. So what's everybody having for supper tonight? Mm. Over the next few days, you'll see videos coming up. We had tried a subscription box for good food. We had our first one yesterday. It was really good. I took a video of the unboxing of it, and then I took video of cooking of it. So you'll see at least 2 videos for that, and I'll do video of cooking of tonight's one. So last night was a lobster pasta dish, was really good, and then for Rowan and Jeff, I made them the chicken parmesan frozen chicken and pasta with Rowan had pesto sauce and Jeff had the classico sauce with olives, and then he had some of the pasta from this dish because it was four servings. So Abby and I had, actually we both had 2 bowls. We were stuffed, and there was still some. So that got eaten for breakfast. So the portions are pretty good. The salad that they sent, like the stuff to make the salad, wasn't I don't think it was really enough. Plus the lettuce that they sent was a Boston leaf lettuce. Well, so and silly me, I had done the salad a little early just so it could be done. Um, and it wilted. But I think that's because of that type of lettuce. See, I'm used to using romaine or iceberg, but it is what it is. But those videos I will hopefully edit. And I should have. I'm going to work on my menu plan for this week, editing, and have that up tonight, um, or tomorrow morning. Probably set it for tomorrow morning. And then the good food box things might be the rest of the week or weekend, so you can see what we got. Tonight's meal is pork schnitzel with a fennel salad. I'm unsure if my family will like it because they're not big fennel people. I don't think I've ever. Sorry, I bought fennel once. No, I didn't. It came in a CSA box once. There we go. Came in a CSA box because I didn't buy it because I'm like, um, and I made something. I think it was a fennel soup. My family ate it, but we'll see. So that's why I'll make probably a Caesar salad with it. Avocado and lime and some sliced bread with sausage. Ooh, yum. Fresh pepper, a carrot, and now going to the dessert. Sweet tamarind fruit. Oh, I picked up tamarind fruit. Well, it. Ours is a paste. Here, come with me. I picked up at the Asian market. I've never. Well, I know it's probably. I know it's from a fruit of some sort. Like, but we don't get that stuff here. Even fresh. Let's see our tamarind. I just picked it up when I was at the Asian market. Tamarind. Tam, tamarind and salt. So it's part of Thailand. It's just like a block. It's like a block of mashed up tamarind, and there's seeds I think still in there, if memory serves. Last, because I picked up once many moons ago for a recipe, and I think there were still seeds in it. Well, I figure. Oh, so I'll show you the picture of. I'm up here. Oh, so that's what I made yesterday. It was really good. Let's see. Oh, and this is the one for today. So I'm unsure about the slaw. The schnitzel I know my family will eat. And they have potatoes. So there's potatoes. There's fingerling potatoes. The slaw is fennel, celery, I think apple cider vinegar, shallots. and half the chives. Olive oil, salt, pepper. So I'll be making a video of doing that too. So I'll probably be making, I think, oops, my computer monitor. I don't know why I was up there. So probably make a Caesar salad as a backup, a little Caesar salad. I will eat the salad. I have no problem. See, this is my problem. I really would like my family to eat more salads, more different salads. Because they get set in their ways of tomato, cucumber, lettuce. At least they eat romaine lettuce. But and then Caesar salad and Greek salad and tomato bocchini salad. But those are the major salads that they eat. I wish I would eat like a Mexican fiesta salad or taco salad. But they're not quite into that. Now, do you get them like as like dates, like dried tamarinds? So, Tom Tom, how many is in your family? I'm assuming you and your wife. Do you have kids? So, um, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of some of these weird Canadian foods. Um, I don't think that they're weird because I live here. But, and some things I like, some things I don't like. Do you guys have all dressed chips? It's a unique flavor in Canada. It's quite yummy. It tastes kind of like a barbecue um, with some other stuff. Abby loves all dressed chips. So when we go trick or treating, if anybody else gets them, they usually trade her for them. Dill pickle chips, another one. I did not realize that that's only found usually in Canada. They are to die for dill pickle chips. If you like dill pickles, taffy on the stove, which is basically boiled maple syrup, putting on the snow. Tastes sweet like dates in Asia. That's the here. 3 pounds for 500 grams. Yeah, that package it was tamarind like crushed, so I think there's the pits in them with salt, to use in Asian recipes. Another weird food is moon mist ice cream. It's swirls of pastel colors of blue, purple, and yellow ice cream, and it's only found in the maritime provinces. And of course, poutine, which is basically fries, cheese curds, and gravy. Um, do you guys ever heard of cream soda? It's usually pink, but they do have it white, clear, because people were having issues with the red food dye. It is super sweet. Um, it tastes like cotton candy in a drink, basically, but sweeter. Nanaimo bars are a sweet dessert square, so it has um, consisted of layers of wafer crumb base topping with buttercream custard and coated with melted chocolate. Is to die for. It is like 1 billion calories per bite. It's so decadent. And you can also get them sometimes. They'll put the chocolate, melted chocolate on top, but they might do mint chocolate. You could sometimes find them at Christmas time with the mint chocolate. Mine are pure with shell. They are tamarind sauce based with or without seeds. Yeah, because the tamarind paste has salt in it. It says it has tamarind and it has salt. And I find it's like a sweet, salty paste that you use in Asian cooking. Um, Butter tarts are little bite-sized pecan tarts or sugar pies with, and they usually have pecans on them or walnuts or raisins in them. And Montreal bagels are a very dense, freshly made bagel. My favorite is everything bagels. I tend not to get necessarily the Montreal bagels because they tend to be more expensive. But if I was going to go to a bagel shop and get a bagel, I like them. I like the everything bagel with like everything cream cheese. You know, because I don't want to make any decisions. I want to have everything. Smarties here are like your M&Ms. Your Smarties in the States we call rockets in Canada. Um, and our Smarties are sweeter than M&Ms, and they're more colorful. Like the package has like 8 or 10 different colors in there. We tend to use them in place of M&Ms in cookies. Actually, there's a lot of times you can get chocolate chip cookies with Smarties in them instead of chocolate chips. Caesar cocktail, which is a twist on the Bloody Mary, which is tomato juice, but they switch out the it's made with clamato. So you use clamato, which is tomato juice with clam juice, and usually have a celery stick in it, like a piece of celery stick in it, and it usually has celery salt on the rim. Sometimes it has like a pickled bean or pickled like a stick with a whole bunch of olives and pickles on it, or a tomato or something like that. But it is very good. It's vodka, clamato juice, Tabasco sauce, celery salt around the rim, a little bit of salt and pepper inside. Is definitely good. Coffee crisp chocolate bar. Um, these are awesome. Basically, think of a wafer cookie with coffee flavored filling and chocolate and covered in chocolate. It's awesome. Like I, It's not my favorite. It was my mom's favorite, and it's Abby's favorite, and Jeff's favorite. So I like it, but I'll easily trade them in for a Reese's peanut butter cup. So have you heard of any of those weird Canadian foods, if you want to call them weird? Because I was going to say, I didn't think that they were that weird. Oh, and we also have a gum here. It's purple. Do I have it? It tastes like soap. It's weird. It's purple. Um, Wait, let me see if I can just Google it for a second. But and we also have wine candies. Thrills, yes, that's what they're called. They're thrills, and it tastes like soap. But you get used to it. No, none of them. Well, they're not too. So you gotta come to Canada. You gotta try some of these. Well, poutine. I'm sure you've seen any. So what's funny is if you've seen any American television and they mock a Canadian, they usually make us sound like we say aboot, which we don't say, and we say a lot of a, which we sometimes say. But they're always eating poutine, fries, cheese curds, like usually white cheese curds, like mozzarella cheese curds, and usually a beef gravy. Sometimes a turkey or a chicken gravy, but it's usually a beef gravy. Um, what's funny here, Harvey's here in Canada has um, vegetarian poutine here. Like the poutine here is like their gravy is actually vegetarian. Their beef gravy is not beef. It has no beef or beef flavor in it, but tastes like beef. So they call it vegetarian. So vegetarians, vegan can't because the cheese curds have dairy in them. But vegetarian good. What are some weird foods that you have in the UK? Or Amanda, what's some weird foods that you have in the States? Tamarind got used in regular dishes when me and my friend cook Asian Thai food, not in sweets. Okay. I know one that I like that's UK. Well, British. Blood pudding. I love blood pudding. Hmm. I haven't met a cheese I haven't liked. Now, blue cheese, I can like in small bits. Sorry, there is a cheese. There's a really, really gross, strong cheese that I had. I'm trying to think where I had it. I think my mom back in the day, because I was a teenager, went to like had me and go over to her friend's place for like one of those like Tupperware parties or whatever. and they had fancy cheeses, and this cheese was really strong. Like, not strong like blue cheese. Like, blue cheese was like mild. Okay, this stuff was like so strong it like grew hair on your chest, and it smelled really bad. Like, it smelled really bad. I can't remember what that cheese is called. It's a name once I hear it. Oh no, Lindenberg maybe. Limburger. Just googling it. I'm like, yeah. So I tried that once. I'll always try anything once. I was a teenager. I was probably about 15, 16. That's probably as old as my kids. Never ever again. But I will always try anything once. But I love blood pudding. I don't like liver. My mom used to like liver. Yes, I like normal cheese. Well, I like fancy cheeses. I love fancy cheeses. I like regular ones too. I like brie and goat cheese and camembert. Um, I'm not a big fan of Swiss. I do. Will eat it, like, but it's not my favorite. I like Havarti and Gouda. Oh, especially if you can get a smoked Gouda or a maple Gouda. Yum yum. Also, Harzen case. I've never heard of that before. Well, a nice blue cheese is nice sprinkled a little bit on a salad. It's good. Or in a blue cheese dressing, or like a blue cheese dressing with wings. These you can find in your dark. Yeah, I've never heard of them, and you probably have to get them. Like, I don't think they'll sell them at the grocery store, like the cheese display. I think you have to go to like the fancy cheese stores. Like, we have some, so we have one downtown has a, it's a fancy, I call it a fancy cheese store. Yeah, Gouda. Like, I love double smoked Gouda. Oh my god, that stuff you is just to die for. I like Havarti with like jalapenos or with red peppers or with herbs. Let's see if I can actually get the Harzer case in Ottawa. I doubt it, but Harzer cheese is a German sour milk cheese made from low-fat curd cheese. It contains only about 1% fat and originates in the Harz mountain region south of Braunschweig. Harzer is often small and round, in which case it's called Harzenkäse or Taler, or cylindrical, in which it's called Strangenkäse. Let's see if I can see it in Ottawa. Okay, Canadian cheese shops. Because we don't have a lot of cheese shops. Most of our cheeses are sold through the grocery store. There's Rockford. I've had that blue cheese. That's really strong, but it has a very clean, strong flavor. But the Lindbergh smells like somebody died and it is rotting. Blue cheese, it's not that bad. Cheese shops in Canada. Let's see. Alberta, Ontario. Yeah, see, we have a lot of local cheese shops. Like, we have St. Albert's cheese and um, another one. What's Oh, there's a. Hey, there's one in Canada. Let's see. It's called Serious Cheese. I've never heard of this store. Where the heck are they? Ugh, I got like some sort of like website thing. There's a House of Cheese. I think that's downtown. Oh, Serious Cheese is in the Grace's in the Kitchen. Okay. So we have Grace in the Kitchen, a kitchen store. It does have a cheese spot there. Let me put intense, yes. I love remember young Gouda sheep and goat cheese, preferably raw milk cheese. Yes, I like those too. I like the soft cheeses. They just have in my mind like cheddar is like an everyday cheese. The other soft cheeses are like a fancy cheese. Because I can get cheddar, like, so, I mean, the store bought stuff from Kraft or Black Diamond, or I keep on calling it Black and Decker, but no, that's the tools. Or that you can usually get them for cheap, for under $5, for 450 grams. But to get a good cheddar, like a really good cheddar, as well as St. Albert, which is just like an hour and a bit away, I think. Because I know somebody who goes there, or there's at least a depot, like a store, like their outlet sells it. Maybe not the farm that makes it. Is only about an hour away. I know people who go there. Now that's a really good cheese. But for that type of cheese, my budget would have to increase significantly. Because my family, I swear, are mice because they just eat cheese. Like they can eat 500-gram cheese in one sitting. Like my family, boom, it's gone. Oh, you'll be back later. Okay. Oh yeah, the House of Cheese is the one in the market. So there's a cheese shop downtown in the market. That's where I've gone before, to get little bits of cheese. Because sometimes they have like little bits of a wheel and stuff, and I can get like little bits of a whole bunch of like fancy cheeses and make up a cheese plate if we are going somewhere. It's much cheaper. Have you heard of the Mediterranean cheese with fly larvae and forbidden in most other countries? Uh, no, I'll try and Google that. That's weird. So apparently I can just go cheese with, and I start with F and it starts. So that's called. Oh, it has maggots in it. Kazu Marzu. Kazu Marzu. Literally means literally rotten putrid cheese. Is a traditional Sardinian sheep's milk cheese that contains live insect larvae, maggots. A similar cheese, Kaz, Kazgu mezzo, is found in Corsica. Um, Derived from pecorino, Kazu Marzu goes beyond typical fermentation to a stage of decomposition brought about by the digestive actions of the larvae of the cheese fly, Piopola gasae, whatever, however you say that, Latin. These larvae are deliberately introduced to the cheese, promoting an advanced level of fermentation and breaking down of the cheese's fats. The texture of the cheese becomes very soft, with some liquid called lagrima sardinian, or teardrop, seeping out. The larvae themselves appear as translucent white worms, about 8 milligrams. It's created by leaving whole cheeses outside with part of the rind removed to allow the eggs of the cheese fly to lay in the cheese. A female casti produces more than 500 eggs at one time. The eggs hatch and the larvae begin to eat through the cheese. The acid from the maggot's digestive system breaks down the cheese fats, making the texture of the cheese very soft. By the time it's ready for consumption, a typical Kazu Mirza will contain thousands of these maggots. Ugh. Yuck. It's considered by Sardinian aficionados, however you say that word, to be unsafe to eat when the maggots in the cheese have died. Because of this, only cheese in which the maggots are still alive is usually eaten, although allowances are made for cheese that have been refrigerated, which can kill the maggots. When the cheese has fermented enough, it is often cut into thin strips and spread on moistened Sardinian flatbread to be served with strong wine. You gotta need to have strong wine with that. Is believed to be aphrodisiacs by Sardinians because the larvae in the cheese prefer not to ingest the maggots. Those who do not wish to eat them place the cheese in a sealed bag. The maggots, starved for oxygen, writher and jump in the bag, creating a pitter-patter sound. When the sound subsides, the maggots are dead and the cheese can be eaten. Yeah, no need to try this. For health concerns, it's possible for the larvae to survive in the intestines, leading to a condition called pseudomyiasis. There have been documented cases of it. Blech. Because of European Union food hygiene health regulations, the cheese has been outlawed and offenders faced heavy fines. However, some Sardinians organized themselves in order to make Kazu Marzu available. on the black market where it could be sold for double the price of the ordinary block of pecorino cheese. Attempts have been made to circumvent the EU ban by having Kaizu marzu declared a traditional food. It has been made in the same manner for more than 25 years, and it is therefore exempt from the ordinary food hygiene regulations. The traditional way of making the cheese is explained by the official paper of the local Sardinian government. So, yeah. Um, it's not on my list of things to try. I prefer not to eat things decomposed or rotten. Not my cup of tea. Or a cup of coffee. Some water. Oh, I put the halved lemons that I juiced yesterday in here to give my water some lemon flavor. So, have you ever tried that Tom Tom? Because that's like really, really gross. Not my cup of tea, that's for sure. Amanda and Rosie, what are you guys having for supper? Um, this is my second. No, I had half. This is one half of water. I'm just trying to think. Like second, I'd have to look at my phone. I think I had half full. I think at one. Gotta drink the water. So, so tonight's supper should be interesting. Doesn't it look good? I'll be taking video. I'm just not very fast at editing and uploading them. So these videos of what I'm making from the Good Food Box might be might be up by the weekend. More so likely next week. So do you guys have Airbnb in your area? I know they do here and across Canada, most places. I know people who rent out um, their like spare room or their house or their cottage and stuff like that, and they make some good money. But I've never actually rented from one of them, like from one of these Airbnbs. Um, I know people who have used them. Is everybody away from the keyboard? my eyes are itchy. The one thing with fall is that I'm allergic to like mold and dust and some pollens and stuff. And right now is high for I think ragweed. All this thing. I don't know what it is, but there's something that's out there that I keep on having allergic reaction to. Like not anaphylactic or anything. Just, there we go. Let's go. Read you some more things about only in Canada. Like only in Canada do we plan our Halloween costumes to fit over our snowsuits most years. Not so much with my kids. Um, since my kids were around, there's been more years where it's been warmer at Halloween than when I was a kid. Every second year, there was either snow on the ground or it was really cold. Yeah, this is a post I post on Facebook before too. Here, I'll show it to you. Meanwhile, in Canada, every time I hear a mean joke about being Canadian, I go to the doctor and get my feelings checked for free. Oh, have you guys ever had here? Even if you never had a couch like this, you knew someone who did. Okay, when I first moved out of my own, I was engaged to somebody else, and we bought this couch and chair and the end tables from a garage sale, and it stayed at his place. Actually, I wasn't even moved out on my own. I was still at my mom at the time. Um, yes, I was still at my mom. But we bought this, and then when we broke up, he got to keep it. But I was actually upset because I love wood and these couch cushions, super comfy. So, but that's exactly the same design. I don't know why, but we paid. I think we paid like $100 for the couch and the chair. 100, maybe 200. To when you speak two languages, but start losing vocabulary in both of them. Bilingual. But nobody is on here. Um, I should probably get going. I have to start making supper anyways because it takes me a while to chop things um, up for supper. But thanks for popping by. I'm sorry everybody got busy and had to uh, go away from the keyboard. No one. Did you ever have a couch like that? I showed you in the picture. We did. But I should get going. I've got 18 billion things to do. Well, that was like something that came out in the 70s, but super comfy couch. So it also like I think I think underneath it was a bed, like it could fold out to a bed. I'm pretty sure, but it was super solid. Like that thing, it weighed for like 1,000 pounds or something. It was solid, solid, solid wood. But um, thanks for watching. Um, feel free to check out my videos. I'll be doing my menu plan. I think I'll have it up tonight or tomorrow morning, and you can see what I'm making this week. Should be fun. Bye, friends. Bye, Tom Tom. Bye, Amanda. Bye, Puppy's Breath. And whoever else might have popped in.